bang bang, comedy 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 bang bang.
Your pink pantied tush makes my shy chubby blush. Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang. Our guest does not like it. Thank you to the Voblex Catchphrase All-Star. That's from the Voblex.
Come
I know
on,
you're disappointed
the
in the
Voblex.
Catchphrase All-Star, the Voblex submitted that. By the way, I did not credit our previous episode's Catchphrase All-Star Shampoodler for the WebMD one, so I wanted to retroactively do that. Thanks to them.
Yes.
I almost said him.
Honor restored to the Shampoodler name.
Welcome to Comedy Bang Bang. This is the best of episode number 2, where we count down your top 14. God damn it. Already?
Okay. So this is episode number 2 of a countdown that counts down 14 to 7.
To 1. To 7, Evan. 7, Evan.
Number 10.
This is an episode called Bongo versus Bongos. That's right. This is Jason Mantzoukas and Andy Daly.
That's right.
This is the, by the way, they were the winners of last year's countdown. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
They won for episode 300, did they not?
It was quite a saga.
It's not a winning thing. They were number 1.
Why are we doing this then?
That's true. Okay. They won last year.
Yeah.
Reuniting. They hadn't done an episode together for a while. And Andy is doing a character new to Comedy Bang Bang, which he had, I believe he had started on the Womp It Up podcast, which is a spin-off podcast of Comedy Bang Bang. The Marissa Wampler.
The first Comedy Bang Bang spin-off.
Maybe. I can't recall. Is it the first?
I think that it is.
I'm not sure. I don't even know at this point.
I think that it is the first one,
some
a
people
character
would say,
that was created on that show.
Some people would say the Andy Daly pilot thing,
sure.
but he created a lot of those characters before Comedy Bang Bang. But then so did Jessica St. Clair did Marissa on stage once, and
did she really?
Yeah, I saw her do it in a UCB show. She had like a neck brace. I think it may have been one of the only times she ever did it on stage.
Then it's not a spinoff at all.
Okay.
So there have been no Comedy Bang Bang
There have been no
spinoffs.
spinoffs. Thank you very much.
You really led me down the garden path on that one.
But so this is a new character that Andy had done on one episode of Womp It Up. This is a teacher at Marissa Wampler's high school, I believe. He is the health teacher. And one thing I need to mention, because otherwise you'll be confused, Talkin' Tang is a podcast that Jason Mantzoukas had decided he was going to start in a previous episode. A previous episode we may hear from a little later in our countdown. But he mentions Talkin' Tang a few times. That's what that is about.
Number 10.
Please welcome Joe Bongo.
How's it going? How are you?
Hello,
It's
Joe.
good to be here. I brought my bongo.
You certainly did.
Holy cow.
This is my second podcast. I was on, what do you call it? The Wompering. And I was on that one, and I forgot I didn't bring my bongos. And I said the whole time, I should have brought my bongos. And so now I got them.
So you were on Womp It Up. This is the person I know from Reina Del Rey High School. I know a couple people I know. Marissa Wampler.
That's the one. Yes,
and
from the
Miss
Stars
Whistler.
program. And, yeah, right. Exactly. The two of them have the Wompers, and they do the podcast, and I was on that. And we had a lot of fun.
Her birthday is coming up. I would imagine we'll see her real soon.
Oh, she got a birthday coming up?
Yeah, she did.
That's
yeah,
so
in August.
funny. It seems like everybody's got a birthday.
Once a
You know
year
what I mean?
about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wouldn't it be great? Here's the thing.
Every time I turn around, it's somebody's birthday.
Joe, do you have a birthday?
I don't have a birthday. That's
You
the
don't?
interesting thing about it. No, I mean, I don't know.
Is that because you were adopted, or because you don't know the date you were
It was
born?
just never
or?
a topic of conversation, like when were you born and all that stuff.
Who
Like,
was
never
it?
was
Your
No, we
parents
never
never.
talked
Did
about
you know
it.
your parents?
I did. I knew my parents, but we just had other things to talk about.
So when you heard about the children at school talking
Yeah.
about their birthdays, you never thought, hey, that's something I should bring up to my parents.
I don't know. It never occurred to me. It's just, oh, you got a birthday? That's great. Hey, so he does too. You know, that's weird.
There's
Joe,
always
can
way
I answer
more-
my question? Do you have any siblings?
I don't I got no shit. It was just me.
Only child.
Yeah.
There's way more interesting things to talk about at the dinner table.
Yeah.
You know, like politics and
sure,
art and
or
religion.
whatever, diabetes, or you know.
Let's talk about diabetes for 1 second.
How often would you talk about diabetes?
Oh, all the time. It was a constant topic. Both my parents were diabetics, and so
your parents were diabetics.
They were both diabetics, and we talked a lot about that.
Did you ever have to, inject them with?
Oh, sure. That would. Yep. That's well. It was part of the reason I became a health teacher. I had such an interest in health. We used to talk about
how can people be healthier?
Poor venous blood circulation. We used to talk about eustachian tube restrictions. That was an issue my father had. Often got ear infections.
Hey, punctuating with the bongos.
Always had an ear infection. My father.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah. Chronic depression, alcoholism. He had a lot of issues. He was always trying to get into the army. They wouldn't take him.
Always trying to get in the army. Up to what point in his life?
He's still trying to get in the army.
Okay, so he's still alive.
86 years old. He'd like to serve.
Yeah. Well,
that's you know what? That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a great instinct there.
He goes. What he does? He travels all around the country, sometimes all around the world, just to army bases, and just tries to lend a hand.
Well, you can serve your country, and I guess the people of this country in other ways, other than the army or the armed forces. I would imagine you can volunteer at places that help others.
I wish I had thought of that as a thing to advise him of at some point.
That never came up.
Years. No, he's just still trying to get.
But you never had a birthday.
I never did have a birthday. I don't know why.
You never blew out birthday candles.
No, not my own. Not my own.
Oh, you would blow it.
So you used to go to birthday parties and blow on other people's
you know how it is when
candles?
you get impatient. They're sitting there dragging it out.
Here's what I wonder. As a health teacher, maybe you have.
Yes.
I've been looking at people blowing on birthday cakes, and Jason, this must just gross you out, right? People blowing on candles.
Oh, what are you, a germs guy?
Think of all the spit on birthday cakes.
So gross.
It's gross, isn't it?
Super gross.
What a weird. Here's what I suggest: put the candles on a plate or something.
Let me do it for you this way.
Yeah.
Imagine how happy everybody is to receive a piece of cake that someone just spit all over.
Yeah.
And now imagine that right before putting your food down in front of you, a waitress or a waiter at a restaurant just blew on it.
Just blew it a kiss.
Then put it down. Would you be like, oh, cool?
I was like, here's your plate of curly fries.
Yep. Yeah,
but she's a stranger. I think the test for whether you should go to somebody's birthday party is: am I comfortable eating their spit?
Am I intimate with this person?
Am I intimate enough with this person? I'm comfortable eating their spit.
Have you been to a birthday party?
I've been to lots of birthday parties.
So how many?
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, well, I want to go back to 19.
Yeah, let's list them off. This is good.
Would have had a birthday party. I have my aunt.
How old are you, by the way?
Right
Definitively?
now. Definitively. I really don't know.
You don't know.
I really have no idea.
Do you have a rough,
how many times?
I
guess. I feel like
you sound old.
How many Julys have you encountered?
I wish I'd been keeping track of Julys or any of the months.
When's the last time you were in school?
I have not. Well, I work at a school, so that's a hard.
Okay, well, that's true.
Okay.
How many years? You know the concept of years. 2015, 2014.
I know that there's only
what was the earliest one you can remember?
There's one Christmas in a year, and there's one. And then there's a New
Year. So you did celebrate holidays.
How many Christmases have you encountered?
How many? I'm not keeping track of Christmases, you guys. This is a real problem.
How many presidential elections? How many presidents have you seen?
Oh, God. All right. Well, that's a great one. The first guy I voted for was John Anderson.
Wait, that's a write-in candidate?
That's like the 80s, right?
That would have been, I don't know. Okay. I don't know years.
So okay. Interesting.
But he's a health teacher. He's not a math guy.
Sure, not a math guy.
Yeah.
How many Olympics have you seen?
Oh, wow.
Winter and summer.
Confused because there's certain. If it was easier, if it was a more sensible breakdown between what's a winter game and what's a summer game. Why are they
how many long jumps?
Why are they playing basketball in the summertime?
They started doing that in 1988. I believe.
Is that what they started?
How many long jumps? How many long jumps?
I guess we're gonna have to just.
I have seen 18 long jump competitions.
Okay.
So every 4 years.
18 times 4.
64 years.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Or 60.
Yeah.
I feel confident about, but sometimes these are semifinals. I don't know.
50.
All right, but like old guy-ish.
I feel, you know what I always say, you're only as young as you feel.
Oh,
so I feel like I'm like 16, 17 years old.
Oh.
I got a lot, you know what I mean? I have a lot of energy.
Music must keep you young.
Yes,
as well.
Music keeps me young.
How long have you been playing these bongos?
I've been playing the bongos. Let's see, I found a pair of bongos under the pier, and that had to be like...
In Marina Del Rey?
Down there in Marina Del Rey.
Are you born and raised?
No, I went all around the world. I followed my dad from Army base to Army. We were Army brats.
But he wasn't in the Army.
He was not in the Army.
He just tried to help out.
We were trying to get in there.
You would move to base town.
He was under the impression that you could, if you got rejected at one place, you could go to another place.
Okay. He didn't realize it was a national
It's
thing.
all one army.
Yeah.
That was
so you must not have lived places for very long because he would, I'm assuming, instantly be rejected.
Yeah.
And then he would have moved for and then you got to pack up and move again.
To the next Army base.
He heard the expression "you and what army" and took that literally, thinking there were several different ones.
He heard the expression "you and what army." Okay.
Don't try and figure it out.
I don't think
you know
I
what?
get it.
I'll tell you right now, Joe Bongo, he's going to say a lot of stuff that you're going to need to gloss right over.
Come
Hey, that's
on
no
now.
problem.
Otherwise, we will be ground into a nightmare.
I don't understand a lot of the things I hear, and that's all right. Hey, I got a wish for you.
Yep.
Okay.
You heard all the wish things.
I did. For 1 year, everywhere you go,
Yep.
here's my wish.
Yep.
For you to wear a denim shirt and a white cotton pair of pants.
So flipping it, turning it on its head.
I did consider
Yeah.
for a while my summer
Just
outfit
like turning it
being
upside down.
White
Upside
jeans and a blue Oxford.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then the day after Labor Day.
I own it. I just have never worn it.
White jeans are problematic, though. You get them dirty, and you got to,
Especially in the amount of times I shit my pants.
Oh, yeah. Well, then white jeans are not for you. If you were a frequent pants shitter, that would be advice.
Can I ask you a question, Joe Bongo?
Yes.
You found this pair of bongos under the pier. Do you
Yes.
know who they belong to, or did you ever see a lost and found
There was
item?
a guy sleeping next to them, but I didn't necessarily know, those his or whatever. Somebody, I don't know.
Now, was your name Joe Bongo at the time? Or
I
was this
know
a
I was
stage-
not going by Joe Bongo.
Okay, so this is a nom de plume, or not a nom de plume, but a stage name of some sort.
Well, no, I say, call me Joe Bongo, because my thing is the bongos.
Does anybody call you Joe Bongo?
Everybody calls me Joe Bongo.
I certainly have.
Mr. B over at school or whatever. This is Joe Bongo.
But you're not not a
Yes.
music teacher. You're a health teacher.
Oh, yeah, I'm a health teacher.
Do you incorporate the bongos
I don't
into
know
your-
music in that sense, in that way of I know I'm aware that there are notes, and I'm under the impression that there's sheet music.
Right.
But I don't know it.
You're under the impression that
I'm under
sheet
the
music-
impression that there is.
When can you confirm?
Do you think
I'll
you
get
think
on
you
it
can-
immediately if that's what you guys want.
Because we could probably produce sheet music just in case that's weighing on you
What
at
I'm
all.
saying is-
That can be settled.
Look, there are great questions in life that we all wish we knew the answers to, and it keeps us up at night. We can answer this one for you.
Because I've seen musicians and they got the music stand and there's
Yep.
something on there, and I don't know if they're reading a magazine.
You're seeing the back of the
or book or
paper.
something. I've only seen the back of the paper.
Sure.
I've heard the term sheet music. And I'm
Oh,
like, is
yeah.
that
You
what
ever
that
like
is? Is
tap
that a
him on
sheet
the
of music?
shoulder and say, "Hey, you mind turning around and give me a look"?
I never thought, because I don't want to go up there and interrupt your performance or anything like that.
Have you ever? Did you study the bongos? Did you have lessons at all? Are you self-taught?
Oh, I totally self-taught. I'm an autodidact on the bongos. I've totally come just completely self-taught. I mean, I picked up a few things at the drum circles down at the Huntington Beach drum circles.
So you would see and hear someone do something on the bongos, like a tip tap tap, and you
Yes.
go, "Ooh, I got to put that in
I
there."
could try that. Tip, tap, tap.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is the basic principle, the guiding principle behind the bongos? You hit them.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you try to do it as many times within the beat as possible. Is that what it is?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Cramming is a lot into the beat.
Now, do you are there
You just gotta
songs?
feel it. It's really a feeling. You got
What is
You
it?
got to know.
What do you do?
You
So,
gotta
like,
feel it.
let me lay down a beat and you show me the
this is gonna be
basic
great.
principles of the bongos.
By the way, I
So-
take requests. So any song requests you guys have, I can play anything on the bongos.
Oh, that's great.
That would be great.
I
Sure,
love that.
That's what I do.
You're so vain.
When I do parties. You're so vain. Yeah. See, I just feel it.
Kind of like a Martin Denny tune. I don't know that
I
was
felt
ever so
the
vain.
song, and I just,
You definitely took on a different physicality when you
Yes.
play the bongos.
I have a sort of-
hunch over and you sort of become depressed and like your eyes start to squint really, really hard.
Well, I kind of I go into a character in a way when I play bongos. I
don't know
What's that
is.
guy's name?
Jimmy Bongo, totally different guy.
Totally different.
Oh, so when you're playing the
Yeah.
bongos, you're Jimmy Bongo.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess.
You want-
I
We can
adopt
let
an
that go.
attitude. I adopt an attitude when I'm playing
It's
the
great. It must be
bongos.
that must be great on stage. Do you ever perform live?
Oh, sure I do. I'm in a band right now. We're called Rosebush Red, and it's me and it's a bunch of the students at the high school. And I'm always
like a rock and roll combination?
yes, it's a
or-
rock and roll combination band. Yeah, that's
Oh,
right. And
okay.
I'm the bongo guy, and I put the band together.
You put the band together.
I've been at the school now for many years. I don't know how many Christmases or Olympics it's been, but it's been a long time because a lot of the kids have come and gone.
Sure.
And-
Well, I bet some have passed away.
Probably, sure. As a matter of fact, I know, yes, a number of them have. Yes.
Drunk driving?
You know that so you know a number of them. So you have more certainty as to student deaths than the existence of sheet music.
I have been alive for 33 student deaths.
It could have all been in 1 year.
That could be one bus accident.
No, that's I don't want to talk about that. Because I'm parking lot security, and it's my job. Basically. It's one of the things.
So you're a man of many interests.
I
or
pick
many
up a few extra
responsibilities.
dollars. Parking lot security.
You do really.
Sure,
so and that's after school, or that's like right when the final bell rings, you hustle on over there to the parking lot.
Great question. I'm there in the morning, and I'm there in the afternoon. Morning and afternoon.
Oh, and just like that. Look at that.
At 6 p.m., you punch out, or
I can leave there. When do I leave? I don't even know because I don't have a watch. But I leave when it feels like
there's nothing else going on.
There's not a lot happening in the parking lot. I can just get out of there.
Do you ever like do kids hang out in the parking lot? Is it like a scene?
Yeah.
I would imagine sometimes the moon is really high and just like you're there till 1, 2 a.m.
Well, you know what's weird? There's different times of the year when it gets darker earlier, so you can't necessarily.
We know a lot about time. We have watches and
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
Do you have a sundial at all? Or?
No, I don't even know what.
How do you show up to work on time?
I don't really. I mean, in the sense
just whenever it feels like you should be there.
Well, yeah, in the sense that relative to other people. You know what I mean? I don't show up necessarily.
Do you have do you live by the school and have binoculars, and when you start to see people trickle in, you go, "Oh, I got to get there."
No, that would be a great idea. I just I wake up and I do what it feels like I have to do at home, which is sometimes eat something or whatever, or, put on pants, and then I go and I just. Sometimes I'm there hours early. I'm there so much earlier before anybody else.
Sure.
A lot of the time I'm there, way later.
The pants thing.
And it
takes a little longer than you thought.
Well, hey, if you don't have a clean pair of pants.
Sure, you
got to go down to the laundromat.
Oh, yeah.
You got to putter around looking for,
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question before we get to the band? You become Jimmy Bongos when you play,
Well,
and yet
saying,
Joe Bongo is your stage name. Why didn't you just pick Jimmy Bongos?
What do you mean? What I'm saying is there's the me that I am every day who teaches a health class and who plays bongos a little.
That's Joe Bongo.
That's Joe Bongo. Okay,
but he sounds like a real square almost compared to this Jimmy Bongo.
Oh well, yeah, right. That's true. Because when I'm playing the bongos, I adopt an attitude. I become kind of a bongo.
Jimmy Bongos wouldn't be a health teacher.
Jimmy, forget it. No way. Jimmy Bongos all day, all night is the bongos. Yeah.
And one further question: why is Jimmy Bongos pluralized and Joe Bongo is not?
That's a great question, and I don't know the answer.
Okay, all right.
That's what's great about
it. And that's what's interesting about you that I'm enjoying is just like you have like a real lust for life. It seems like as long as
you play Lust for Life. That's a real song that I can,
Yep, I get it.
There are certain songs you can pick out by their drums.
Yep.
Like Come Together. Can you do Come Together? Yeah. I mean, you got a
there's
few
always, of course, Wipeout.
Yeah, wow.
I'm really tired.
Wow, that was great.
You can barely play one song before getting tired.
So tired.
Yeah, it seems like you just got real tired.
I'm really winded
You
now.
laid down on the floor and pulled the microphone all the way down to you.
I should take a little nap. Is there time for a nap? Is there a nap time as a part of this podcast?
We usually don't do nap time in the middle.
Part of the podcast?
That would just be 45 minutes of just silence, I think.
Yeah, well, you can fast forward past it.
I guess so, but that's a lot of data to be putting into people's iPhones.
That was really satisfying.
You don't like iPhones?
I'm tired of these iPhones all the time.
Oh, are you an Android guy?
But no, I'm not an Android guy.
No, he's not asking if you're an Android.
I'm not an Android, and I'm tired of the question.
Why is everyone asking you this all the time?
I don't know, but it comes up a lot. Are you an Android? I'm not an Android. Because you know what it is? It's part of certain times of the year I wrap my torso in tinfoil just to keep warm. And then it's like,
warm. Does that reflect the sun?
What times of year?
It's like during those times of the year that when the sun is not up as long is when it gets darker earlier.
Okay, I think that tinfoil. Well, I guess it probably probably would. Yeah, that is called winter.
Yeah, Christmas is around then.
Huh?
Christmas is around then?
Sometimes I got tinfoil on my torso on Christmas Day.
Okay.
And it peeks out from behind the shirt and you get all these stupid
Do people
questions.
think you're a present and they try to unwrap you?
Listen, it's been a long time since I've been unwrapped. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you have a family? Do you have a partner?
No, I don't. I was married for a little while. But the problem is you cannot wear a wedding ring if you're a bongo player. So it's not possible. It's just basically not possible to be married if you
could just take the ring off, while you're playing bongo.
Wear the ring around your neck maybe as a symbol of your love.
Here's the issue. Yes, I was married and I had a wedding ring. And then whenever I play bongos, I took off the ring. You got to.
Sure.
And then it's like, it's open season
Then
on
you're
me.
dripping in pussy.
Yeah, that's the problem. And it's like girls, it's a deadly combination of the let's face it, it's pretty sexy. The bongo is a sexy instrument. And you don't have a wedding ring on your finger. You're gonna get fucked.
But Joe, let me ask you this.
Whoa, all right.
Primarily,
is that proper
though,
language for a health teacher?
It does sound like primarily you are playing to high school students.
Sure. Not all the time. I do go down the pier, but a lot of the time, yeah.
So that
Yes.
provides a whole other set of problems if you are an unmarried man.
Well,
and you're always getting
dripping in puss.
If you're dripping in
If you're always talking tang.
If you're talking tang.
Look, I don't know. Because
from one tang talker to another.
You want to talk tang?
Has this started to become an episode of Talking Tang? Is this the pilot?
Slowly establishing this as a backdoor pilot for Talking Tang.
I'll talk tang.
If you want to, if we're talking tang, it must be almost because Jimmy Bongos is one of the most erotically charged people I've ever seen.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, no doubt. I'm not going to argue with that.
You, Joe
Look,
Bongo,
we have eyes in our heads. We can
Joe
see
Bongo,
this.
Pure
normal,
sex.
total. I mean, I'm enjoying chatting with you, getting to know you. When Jimmy Bongos just played Wipeout, I got turned on.
Thank you.
And if that happened to me, I can only imagine women listening intimately through earbuds must just be like fettuccine Alfredo in their
through
pants.
earbuds, you think? So they're listening on an iPod, or do you mean through their ear holes? Hello?
What do you mean?
You said they're listening through earbuds.
Yeah, that's what those little headphones are called.
Yeah. So you're listening to recordings of him?
No, the women who are listening to this episode of Talkin' Tang right now.
Oh, okay, I see.
They just heard Jimmy Bongos just annihilate and must just be dripping wet.
That's probably right.
Yeah, I feel like we should end this episode of Talking Tang and get back to
Okay.
I don't know that his sex life is germane to why he came on the show.
That's fine. Let's do plugs.
No plugs.
We're going. All right.
Let's do plugs for this episode of Talking Tang. I mean.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Do your plugs.
We can move on.
So you're in this band. What is it? The
Rosebush Red is the name of my band, and it's made up of. I'm the only faculty member on the band. This band has been going for a long time, and it just sort of cycles through other members as they graduate. I'd say it's been about 15 or 18 Christmases.
Okay. So all right, and then people will graduate and they're kicked out of the band, like Menudo.
Well, it's not that they're kicked out. I'd be more than happy. A lot of them are very talented. I'd love them to stick around. And once or twice, I shouldn't say this, but once or twice I have flunked somebody in health class just so they can stick around.
It was
for
like a
year.
particularly good guitarist.
Well, if you got, what, it's been in both instances, it's been bassist because it's hard to find somebody who wants to play the bass.
Yep.
And get somebody who's great on the bass.
Yeah, that rhythm section.
Hurts to lose them.
You got to lock in that rhythm section.
Yeah, you give them an F in the health final, and then they got to stick around and for another year.
It's scoliosis.
Wait, another year just for health class?
It's happened in both cases. These are smart kids, and they had all A's and B pluses and whatnot. They flunked health class, and that's it, buddy. You're around for a whole other year.
It would be just like a summer, like 3 weeks.
Yeah, can't you just make it up?
I am the summer school teacher, and I shouldn't be telling you any of this stuff, because in those cases, what I'll do is I'll wait right up until the beginning of summer school, and I'll say I got a hernia, and I can't do it, and then they cancel the
summer school?
They cancel the summer school, the health unit, and then that's it. So he's out of luck, and
you're the only person who would know if you have a hernia or not.
Right.
Now, do you
no actually?
But you're faking. You don't have a hernia.
Oh, I do get hernias, but I
from the bongos. Is that sort of the
from carrying the bongos?
We're not playing them.
They're very.
You got very tired playing them.
These look like very heavy bongos.
These are very heavy bongos, and I don't carry them well. I don't have a good carry.
No.
Is there some sort of apparatus that you could carry? There must be Bongo Player magazine that sells these kind of machinery that would make it easier.
I'm not made of money. I don't have that. I can't go.
You're just a simple health teacher.
I can't subscribe to Bongo magazine. I can't buy a bongo bag. I'd love to buy a bongo bag.
There's a bag for bongos.
Bongo bag.
Is it sort of like Santa's sack where you have to drape it over your shoulder? I mean, it seems like it would be more difficult.
Bongos are not that large. I bet you could carry them as in like a large backpack.
Yeah.
And then you're using your back rather than, you're
I don't got money for a backpack.
You don't have money for a... Has a student ever left one in your class?
I bet there's a lost and found at Marina Del Rey High School full of backpacks.
Yeah, sure, but you got to get there real early to raid the lost and found. That's what they do the day after.
Like you're getting there hours
all the time.
Sometimes I'm very late. It happens the day after the last day of school. There's an open season for all the faculty on the lost and found. You got to see this. It's like fucking Walmart on Christmas Day. People go crazy.
On Christmas Day?
That's when Walmart is the craziest.
I don't know. I would think Black Friday.
Crazy. Well, that's the secret shopping day, of course, of Walmart.
Christmas Day, secret shopping
Everything's free.
Everything is 90% off.
They must have like guns and stuff that they've confiscated from students and stuff like that.
Sure. Yep. Absolutely. There's a gun locker, and they just open it up on the day after the last day of school.
Hey, take whatever you like.
Yeah, guns, knives, brass knuckles.
Blackjacks,
sure.
Other weapons from the 40s and 50s.
Tear gas cannons.
Tommy gun.
A lot of gas masks.
Gas masks.
Why are they confiscating gas canisters?
Why are they confiscating gas masks? Or does it come in a set with mustard gas?
The assumption is that if you brought a gas mask to school, you know you're going to need it.
Number 9.
Let's get ready to rumble!
No, all joking aside, a salad.
All joking aside.
A salad.
Oh, a new T-shirt. A new T-shirt was born. And in this moment, a new T-shirt was born.
All joking a salad. And then it just has a picture of a salad.
The last thing you see for John Ralphio is he fakes his own death.
Yes, of course.
And then, of course fakes his own death. And then he starts a casino in Tajikistan.
Yes.
The Parks and Rec gave me a rap. They gave people rap gifts, and they found.
Oh, that sounds so nice.
They're very nice, and they found some extra ones because I'm not main cast. And they're like, we actually have some for you. And so a person came by to drop it off.
Who is this person?
This person, I believe, was Mike Schur's assistant.
And what is Mike Schur's assistant's name?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know if it was
a person drops a present off for you. And
at the time I did. I invited her inside and everything.
Oh, really? How long did she stay?
Probably 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you do to this woman?
Oh, God. Can I tell you what I do when I get a woman to myself?
Okay. Yeah, let's go. Okay,
here we go.
All right, this is CBB After Dark. Here we go.
Okay.
All right, Benny's going to tell us what he does to a woman.
What I do, try to get a woman in my place, try to lock that door real quick so she can't get away, right? And then Scott, pretend you're the girl. I'll be like, hey, baby, how are you?
Hi, baby. I love you and Parks and Rec.
Oh, thank you.
What do you want to do to me?
Wait, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 2. I'm this many.
2?
I'm this
Oh,
many.
baby, you know I like them young. Oh, baby, I like them young. Oh, baby, I like them young.
My name's Maggie Simpson.
We're back. Solo Bolo.
We're back, baby.
Solo Bolo, call back.
Everybody's saying it again. Benny Schwartz.
Oh, Tan Roaf.
Rusted. Get it fixed.
Seriously.
So she comes by and she gives me the little bag of trinkets for the thing, and she
What
goes,
is it?
actually, it was a lot of it was I believe
Cufflinks?
No, Nick Offerman in his wood shop made a out of a piece of wood he carved something that looked like Indiana, and then he stamped where Pawnee would have been on it, and in the back it said from the crew or from the cast or whatever.
It's kind of interesting, don't you think, that Chris Pratt, he spends so much time in Indiana, but he's signing up to spend more time in Indiana?
I'm sorry?
Jones, of course. Why is the Hollywood Reporter
Jones,
not making mention of this?
That's a great... By the way, do you stop doing headlines? Let me first, let me tell you the prop, then I want to play our headline game.
I would send in headlines so many times to Jay Leno.
I'm going to give you news items, and you're going to give me a headline for them.
Okay.
We'll go back and forth.
Meaning what?
I'm going to give you the story, and you give me like the New York Post version of that headline.
All right.
Because that was a great one.
All right.
Indiana goes back. But so they come by, and she goes, there's one more thing, Mike.
There's one more
Mike,
thing.
Doug, and Morgan wanted you to have. She took off her beautiful breasts. Really sweet girl. No, and so she goes, it's in the trunk. Will you help me get it out?
It's in the trunk,
And I was like, okay. and we take out the gravestone of John Ralphio. And she goes, they wanted you to have it. They don't what are they going to do with it? They don't need it, yeah. Yeah, and I was like, amazing. So in my apartment, which is not very huge, I have the tombstone of John Ralphio.
And by the way, it was special effects, so it's actually like 8 feet tall, right?
It's 8 feet tall, yeah.
Yeah,
they made it like a giant.
A lot of real estate.
Yeah, I had to take out my fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the story. I'm going to give you a story.
Here we go.
And then you give me the funny headline.
All right.
Okay, ready? Mm-hmm. Inside of a zoo one day, all the monkeys got out of their cages and ate all the food, and all the pedestrians ran away.
Okay.
What's the headline?
Bananas no longer. Slippery pedestrians slip on out of zoo.
Okay, so I made a mistake. You're terrible at this. You
well,
got
what?
lucky.
This is my first attempt at it.
It's a huge headline.
Oh, you're so good at it?
Give me anyone. Give me a different story.
All right, here we go.
Watch this. Engineer Sam, get off your phone. You can only hear this.
All right, here we go. At the airport.
Already got a great one. Keep going.
All right. Plane takes off and crashes into the Pentagon. Just shy.
No, I will not do that.
There's none of your funny headlines you're so good at.
No,
yeah, man. I didn't think so.
I said a couple of monkeys came out of their cages.
What about a traitor? A traitor publishes secrets onto WikiLeaks and flees to Russia, America's biggest traitor. Make a funny headline out of that.
Sure. Snowed in.
Kids are no longer snowed in.
I was just going to say. Go, the Olympic challenge.
All right, the Olympic music challenge. One of us starts to sing a song. It can be any song.
Song?
Doesn't have to be real song. These all have to be real songs. Doesn't have to be from a musical. It can be a pop song. It can be a musical song. It could be anything. Mm-hmm. The other person tries to join along, and at the natural conclusion of the other person's song, the other person has to segue seamlessly into a new song.
I love this.
And whoever loses the line, can't think of another song.
And if you don't know the words exactly, try to keep up.
That's fine. It's fine. Not knowing the words, just basically all it is just trying to think.
Is this the first time you ever played this?
This is the first time we've ever done it.
Can we name it after Solo Bolo?
Okay, let's call it Solo Bolo Olympic Song Challenge.
Great.
All right, here we go. It's time for Solo Bolo
Olympic Song Challenge, starring Scott Aukerman
and Benny Schwartz. Thank you so much for saying who's starring in it, because a lot of times we don't do that.
Of course, yeah. Well, when this is on the best of, I want people to know.
Okay, good. Here we go. So, do you want to start with a song, and or should I start?
Yes, I'll start with a song. Ready?
Okay, here we go.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Can you feel? It has to be a little more than that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's good. I feel like we should. It can't go that,
here we go.
It can't go that quickly.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. Hakuna Matata.
Maybe far away,
or maybe real nearby. He'll be pouring her coffee. She'll be
straightening his tie. Maybe in a house, or maybe by a hill. He'll be eating egg salad. She'll be writing her will. Maybe they're smart. Maybe they're cool. Maybe they went to private school.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I dream of once in a lullaby.
Feed feed the birds tuppence a bag.
Tuppence
a bag.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim jeroo. I like what I do.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Everybody sounded that you know it's halitosis. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a
real good night, and I feel like going home.
Do-do-do. I'm on my way. I am going home. Home is where I'm just about to go.
I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy.
No, here comes the sun.
Diddly-dee. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. But don't worry, but don't much. Be happy. Everybody
Bring it back to Hakuna Matata.
Bring it. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase.
Very nice. That is one of the best ways to get full circle that I've ever heard. That is
like an improv game.
Yeah, that's like, wow, that's amazing.
It's an improv game we should
as
have
long as you always start on Hakuna Matata and end on Don't Worry, Be Happy,
you're going to be fine.
Yeah, you're okay. Whatever you sing in the middle, it doesn't matter.
Number 8.
All right.
BB-8.
BB-8. This is episode 377. Tatiana Maslany and Kristian Bruun from Orphan Black. Mm-hmm. They are both big fans of the show. Mm-hmm. They listen to it every week, from what I understand. They tweet about it constantly. I did not know this. I'd been watching Orphan Black and was like, oh, wow. Those guys are awesome. Yeah. And then suddenly started receiving tweets from them. I'm like, I think they listen to the show or something. And then they were constantly tweeting about it for a while. And they were like, retweeting us whenever we would tweet about the show. And it was, and we slowly started to realize that they were fans. By the way, I'd first heard that Tatiana was such a big fan when she met Lauren Lapkus at a SAG Awards thing, I think, when Lauren had said hi to Andy Samberg, and they did the episode where we all did the Hollywood Facts theme over and over and over again. Yes. And Tatiana made a beeline for them and started doing the Hollywood Facts theme to them. So Lauren wrote to me and said, hey, Tatiana Maslany is a big fan of the show. So that's where I first heard about it. So I knew I had to get Lauren. I knew I had to get you. You and Lauren hadn't really decided what you were going to do before the episode.
Not at all. I don't. Neither of us.
Nor did you think you were going to do it together.
No, we did not have separate plans of characters to do. Right before we started recording, and I said, "Do you want to do something together?" And she said, "Sure." And I said, "What should we be?" And she said, "Let's be morning DJs." And that was it. That was the only prepreparation that we
morning did. DJs. And I think you said what your names were. They ended up being Chasmin. That's you.
Chasmin and Sunny.
Number 8.
So
good night.
Good morning.
Is it called Good Night in the Morning because you wrap up at night?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's called Good Night in the Morning because the show starts in the morning.
Sure.
It goes all goddamn day. Then at nighttime, someone puts a cover over us so we know it's time to go to sleep in our cage.
And pour some NyQuil into it.
We do the show in a
Shots
giant cage. We drink shots of
curtain
NyQuil.
over. Good night.
That's right.
Who
I
puts
can't keep
this carpet over you? Or this rug or whatever, blanket?
No one ever said it was a carpet or a rug. Blanket is a little bit closer. But I know that there's a language difference because we're from different countries.
Sorry, we call blankets carpets.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like your security carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Linus. What was the question? Oh, who does it? It's our producer, Scarsdale.
Is Scarsdale here?
Of course he is. He's always with us all the time.
He lingers.
Bring him in here.
I should say.
All right. Here comes Scarsdale. Hello.
Hi, Scarsdale.
Hello. I am Scarsdale.
You have an interesting phenomenon going on with your voice here.
Oh,
really?
What do you think my voice sounds like?
It sounds like two people are talking at the same time. Do you have two tracheas and larynxes?
Do I have two tracheas and larynxes? No.
Well, then what accounts for this strange phenomenon I'm hearing?
I just sound like me to me.
Well, it's I've heard of people with 6-octave voices, but you're literally speaking, I think, 2 octaves in 2 totally separate octaves.
Oh, you know what it is? I'm Tibetan.
Oh, I see. You're like breathing in while you're breathing out, and
that's right. I'm doing that all the time.
Okay, very good, Scarsdale. How did you meet these two?
How did I meet Sonny?
It's interesting because occasionally, and very rarely, I have to say, you sound as if your two voices are not saying the word that the other voice is saying.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about in the first place, so I don't know why it would sound...
Your Tibetan breathing sort of lapsed there for a second.
This guy, Scarsdale... He's quite a character.
No,
we
he's
make
so
fun
annoying.
of him. We make fun of him all the time on the show.
We hate him.
We can't stand him.
Get hooked up with this guy.
Oh, he followed us home.
That's right. We were leaving the studio the first day we did the show without a producer, and I remember walking home to the home we share.
Well, we're not married, but
We're
we
not
are
married.
roommates.
We are. We've been
did you call him
roommates
husband
for
earlier?
40 years.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
No, I don't think. I actually think she did not say that.
Oh, okay. It
I
sounded
didn't. I know I didn't.
Good night.
Good night.
morning.
So he followed you home, and the rest is history.
Yes. Well, yeah, he followed us over. You're not curious as to
I am.
anything
It
about
seemed like you were moving on.
Well, no, it seemed like you were done with hearing the story.
No, I'm
rest
never
is
done with hearing your
history.
story.
The rest, however, to address your comment, the rest is indeed history. Okay.
Everything is.
But yeah, Scarsdale followed us home, and
what were you thinking, Scarsdale? Why follow these two home?
I wanted to break into the radio business.
That makes sense. So you wanted to break into the radio business. So then, Sonny, you see a...
I thought he was going to say I wanted to break into their home. That's what I thought he was going to say.
I thought he sounded like that little guy from Twin Peaks.
Rewind? Is that his name?
That's right, Little Rewind from Twin Peaks. I hope he makes it to the new episodes that are coming to Cinemax. Showtime! Somebody stop me.
Dynamite.
So we followed you home.
Did I do that?
You got it, dude.
Not the mama. What was your question?
Followed you home and then broke into the house or just stood outside?
We leave the door ajar because we're both very afraid of suffocating in our own home.
Okay, well, it seems like you'd be more afraid of burglars or a home invasion.
I would rather be strangled in my sleep by a burglar than suffocate because I left the door closed. I don't know how you feel about it, Sonny.
The same. You know that.
That was a trick question.
Razzle dazzle.
Well, I know these guys. Have you guys heard these guys? Are you in Canada? Do you know? Is your show broadcast in Canada?
I think we're in some provinces.
Saskatchewan. Probably Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan and the northern provinces.
Yeah.
The territories, if you will.
Oh, you guys are big there.
Do you guys make fun of those places? Is that like Saskatchewan? Is that like a funny joke?
I grew up there.
Oh,
so I can do it.
Oh, okay.
I can make fun
I believe that the place everyone makes fun of is Newfoundland. That's where all the dum-dums are.
Oh.
Is that true, Tatiana?
Yes.
Is it because they named their place the most obvious name?
We Newfounded this place.
It was a real placeholder name that they never got around to filling in.
So, you guys are I'm reading some of your press materials here.
Oh, good.
Oh, those got sent over finally.
Finally, yes. I admit I didn't know anything about you before you got in here.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks
Scarsdale.
for studying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But you guys have you've been on the air for 40 years. You're about to go into your 41st season.
That's
right. You've been on since 1965, which is an amazing run.
Ugh. Don't remind me. My feet are tired.
Wait, and you
from that amazing run.
And you guys do marathons every day.
That's right. Every single day.
Before you tape the show.
We run a marathon.
6:02 p.m.
That's right. That's right. Wait, after the show we do it?
Yep.
Well, it's before the next day show.
It goes into the
Before
next day.
the next day show.
Why are you unsure?
Yes,
I have a timeline question.
Yes,
sure. You said
absolutely.
you've been doing this for 40 years.
That's correct.
You said you started in 1965.
That's right.
Was there a hiatus period of 10 years where you weren't on the air?
Oh, it is a good question because the math is not adding up.
It's not adding up.
And people have been driven crazy by this.
Here's what we
They've
do.
always wondered what were those dark days.
Wow.
Yeah,
What
we
happened?
do a year on, a
showed
year
up.
off. Sometimes we'll take 2 years off at a time. Sometimes we'll spend a whole year running a marathon.
I sleep in a casket.
Well, then I would think that you would be very afraid of suffocation because of that casket.
It's
not because-
open.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's an open casket. Out of respect for the family. I have a baboon heart.
But are you doing these marathons with sheets over you? Because
Yes, of course we are.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay,
we are.
I thought so.
But with high holes cut out.
No, yeah.
A lot of people think we're ghosts.
Yeah, of course.
For these nighttime marathons?
Yeah, we're running. We have sheets over our heads.
Unsanctioned.
With high holes.
They are not
unsanctioned
real marathons.
They are not. The city does not support these.
How long are these supposed marathons then?
Well, they're the traditional marathon length.
26.2 miles.
Something miles. And
10
then,
hours.
Scarsdale is there by the side of the road with cups of water for us to pour over our sheets.
So you're doing like a wet sheet contest as well?
Well, it turns into a wet sheet contest, and
I
every
always
year
win.
it's every year Sonny wins.
Wait, it's yearly.
we do it.
You do the races daily.
We do races daily. We do the wet sheet.
So it's sort of
the wet sheet
cumulative. You tally up the points at the end of the race.
That's exactly
and at
right.
the end of the year.
That's
whoever-
exactly right. Then we
Okay.
have a big banquet where we award medals.
So some days you're winning, some days Sonny is winning.
No,
but-
Sonny always wins.
Oh, every single day?
Every single day.
Oh,
But Scarsdale never races with you guys at all?
Scarsdale
can't run.
He can't run. He's got terrible knees.
Oh,
They're
I'm
made
so
of
sorry.
wood.
Were they replaced or were you
He was
born
born
that way?
He was born that way.
the
Like Lady
Lady Gaga
Gaga. Exactly.
That's what her song's about.
That's right. Lady Gaga, we play a lot of Lady Gaga on our show.
We talk over it.
We
but-
talk over every single song.
Fantastic. Scarsdale, you were born with wooden knees. Are you?
Yes.
Who are your parents?
What do you mean, who? Scarsdale's got to collect himself. He seems to be having a little bit of... It's a very emotional topic for him.
What do you
mean?
Who are my parents?
Obviously, my father.
Scarsdale, get a hold of yourself.
My father
was Geppetto,
and my mother was Tinkerbell.
Oh, so from two different Disney classics.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's exactly what he said.
Great. So they opened up the Disney vault and those two got together?
They
and-
boinked, as we say.
In the vault, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know who watched Song of the South? Never coming out of that vault.
Never coming out. He's got nothing else to do in that vault.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We used to sleep in a vault.
Yeah,
Really?
that got
Yeah.
tight. Once we started making money,
I think that's when we developed the claustrophobia as well.
maybe a little. I love sleeping next to you.
I love sleeping next to you, Sonny, my partner in business, whom I am not married to.
Have you guys ever dated outside of this relationship? I mean, obviously
Yeah.
not
Oh,
dating,
I'm
but, like,
married.
you are married.
Wait, who are you married to?
Phil Collins, ever heard of him?
Well, the singer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In the air tonight and
Yeah, he's there.
Every night.
so he's sleeping next to you then?
No, he
Jasmine?
tours a
No,
lot.
he tours
yeah.
a lot, so
okay.
it's good for Sonny to have someone to sleep next
When
to.
you say tours, I know he's not touring with musically anymore.
No, he just
gave
goes
that
on
up.
safaris. And
Right. Okay.
He's doing a lot of lectures where he shows the movie Buster, and then he talks about it. Sort of live action commentary that he does.
Very good. Very good.
Very good.
And where did you meet Phil Collins? That's so interesting.
take a wild guess.
Okay. Live Aid.
Yeah.
Were you on the Concorde?
The obvious
I
answer.
thought I had AIDS. I showed up.
Wait, okay, this is an interesting story.
Sonny had an AIDS scare that lasted, I'm going to say, a good 10 years.
And so you thought the best place to get it cured was Live Aid?
I thought it was Live.
I kept saying, Sonny, you got to do something. And she saw a story in the paper about this concert, Live AIDS. And she said, that's got to be the answer.
So you went. You see
Very disappointed.
You see Phil. Is this in Philadelphia or is this in London?
Wherever it was.
It was in both cities. So you're in Philadelphia, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm American.
Okay, so you see Phil Collins. You think you have AIDS.
Yeah.
What do you say to him?
Help me, doctor.
You think he's a doctor because he's bald. He can't possibly be a pop star.
Well, to be fair, he was wearing a lab coat at the time.
Okay.
His signature backstage look. It would come off right as soon as the lights hit him on stage, he'd throw the lab coat off.
Well, his parents always wanted him to go into the medical industry.
And this was kind of a fuck you to them.
Okay. So you start dating Phil Collins.
Oh, that's a nice word.
Oh, okay. So you started having sex with him immediately?
They began a sexual relationship almost immediately, and this is very generous on Phil Collins' part. Still not sure that Sonny does not have acquired immune deficiency
First
syndrome.
thing I told him was that I had AIDS. Next thing I told him was, fuck me harder.
Oh, boy.
Phil Collins is a real adventurer.
Real adventuresome spirit, but
Yes.
That's the rock and roll lifestyle.
That's right. I, of course, am a widower.
Oh, really?
Yes.
To whom were you married?
A woman with AIDS who died.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's what she told me. She left a note saying, "Dear Jasmine, when you read this, I'm dead from AIDS."
And you've never seen her again?
Never seen. Well, she's dead.
What was her name?
Her name was Bellissima.
Bellissima.
Yeah.
Oh, she sounds beautiful.
She was.
Yeah. What? Describe her for me, if you could.
She was 4 feet tall. She had 5 foot long hair.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful, like Crystal Gale, but one better.
It was like, hey.
She had a beautiful blue eye.
Just one? Or
well, I could see.
She had the bluest eye.
I could see one through there. She was a huge Toni Morrison fan, and she had a wonderful singing voice. She used to sing to me every night.
Oh, that's beautiful. What would she sing to you?
She would sing the alphabet.
Only public domain songs.
That's right.
Would she give you an acronym? Like, was it an acronym?
Yeah, she would. She would sing the alphabet, then she would tell me what the alphabet stood for.
Oh, let's hear a little bit of it, if you remember.
Sure.
That's beautiful.
Well, the song you probably know.
Sure, but I'd love to hear it.
Would you really?
I really would.
You'd love to hear
it's
the
my
alphabet?
favorite song.
Oh, okay. It goes a little something like this. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
I love that. Oh,
It's a beautiful
so beautiful.
song.
Such a
It's a
beautiful,
beautiful
melody.
song.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fastest rendition I've ever heard.
That's how she. Well, we were trying to go to sleep, so I would demand that she sing to me every night. And then she said, "Hey, I've worked up a new arrangement for the alphabet song. Maybe you'd like this one."
Yeah.
And then she would hit me with that, and boy, I have fond memories. Every time I hear the alphabet, I remember my dead wife.
So anything in the alphabet. So anytime anyone speaks.
Well, anytime somebody says letters.
Okay. So was watching
just
Happy
full
Days very,
words.
very difficult for you?
Because they would sing Monday, Tuesday,
No.
Happy Days?
No, because he would say A all the time.
Oh, the character Fonzie was very cool. Yes, and of course, anytime anyone on anything says you,
Right,
when they
of
address
course,
someone
yeah.
in the second person.
I would imagine going to see B Movie was just a terrible experience for you.
Yeah, but not for that reason.
Okay.
That's a straight up classic joke structure.
Number 7.
Mailer Demon.
Oh boy, oh boy.
This is
Is it Mailer Damon?
Damon, Mailer Damon, but
You're
he's
welcome.
yes.
I understand he's a demon.
Yep. This is Jason Mantzoukas, who we were talking about previously, and also Nick Kroll. Kroll doesn't often come in and say, okay, this is what I want to do in this episode. A lot of times what we'll do is I'll say, hey, is there anything you want to do? He'll just go, I'll think of it while we do it. And quite often, as was the case in this episode, just something that we talked about in conversation. He was himself, and Jason is himself the entire time. Kroll will just leap in with an idea for a character.
Right.
This one was very successful and occurred the entire episode. And this was just based off of us talking about wondering what those emails you get from the mailer Damon were.
Right.
and he decided to portray the mailer demon or daemon to much success, and that is what
and great acclaim.
and that's what we're going to hear right now. This is your number 7.
Number 7.
But what if Mailer Damon were to brand? Hello? Yes. Sam, do you mind getting the door? Sure. Yep. All right, come in.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I am the Mailer Demon.
Oh, my God.
What? We conjured him.
Oh, we said Mailer Damon about 8 times, I believe,
If you
conjured
say
him.
Mailer Damon 8 times, you conjure the Mailer Damon.
Yes, that's right. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're so polite. Thank you for knocking.
Well, as you all know, I am...
Most people just barge in.
I know. My manners are what makes me the Mailer Damon, for I was at one time the butler Ask Jeeves.
Oh, wait a minute.
And after being possessed by a demon, I became the Mailer Damon.
Oh, my God.
So that's why you are dressed like an old school butler?
That is correct, Sir Aukerman.
Thank you so much. Your manners are impeccable.
Wow.
And Mr. Mantzoukas.
Oh, wow, yes.
I have prepared an egg-free omelet for you.
Really?
That's one of his things.
This is a thing of mine.
How does Ask Jeeves
Wait, do you know this?
Mailer Damon know that?
Because you comb the internet for information?
At all times, and I have freed myself up to free things up for you, so you are free to make the best of your comedy.
This is actually a dream come true.
So you know everything there is to know on the internet.
Yes, Mr. Aukerman.
Okay, well, let's ask him questions about the internet. What have you always wanted to know?
Oh, man.
I mean, you must know everything that there is to know.
That is correct, Mr. Aukerman, and I would say I was Ask Jeeves until I was possessed by a demon.
What is the distance between Chicago and San Francisco?
The distance is 1.7 thousand miles.
Wow.
Wow, that's great. That's
So
longer
cool.
than I would have thought.
So cool, and it was so quick on it, right?
Yeah.
It was right there.
And I've gotten rid of the extra zeros so that you are not wasting time hearing.
Oh, thank you.
1,700 miles.
Because and that's no joke, because like I waste so much of my day looking at zeros.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm looking at one right now.
For if it wasn't given the time, you wouldn't have come up with that beautiful joke
I love you,
together at
Jason.
the same time. Might I say that you gentlemen have a wonderful sense of humor that you share in common.
Oh, thank you so much.
so much.
Can I ask you a question, Mailer Damon? What is that?
I'm just cutting your hair slightly, Mr. Aukerman. I noticed that it could use a trim.
Thank you so much, Jeeves.
So do
Slash
you,
demon.
Jeeves! You call me Jeeves!
Whoa. Uh-oh. Jason, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah. Well, you know, Mailer Damon will be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Hey, Jason, he was so polite, I think that we totally glossed over that he's a demon. I know, we gotta be careful. we literally have like a demon who can... He's really...
Lemon sorbet.
Oh, thank you so much.
Such a
Cleanse
nice
the
palate cleanser.
Wow. What do you think of Bing?
Oh, Bing?
Yeah.
Well, love Bing. I've used it since day one.
I had a question I wanted to ask you.
Yes?
Did you cut Scott's hair because you have access to all of the pictures of Scott and know what the correct length
Based
for his
off
hair
of
should
Getty image searches from
Oh.
Scott's major appearances on red carpets
Of
and
course.
whatnot, as well as a collection of all the best Earwolf photos.
Oh, yes.
I have collaborated with all of my various demonites to decide what is the ideal length for Scott Aukerman.
Nice.
What do you got? Can you change my Wikipedia photo, please, to one where I'm not 30 pounds overweight?
Isn't it amazing that the tiny demons at Wikipedia will not allow us to change our photos at
Why is that? And it used to be an older one, and now they updated it to one that was like slightly 2 years newer, but it's still not a current.
Isn't it amazing what technology can do to ruin your vanity?
I guess so. Or let me ask you a question. Did you snip off my hair because you needed my lock of hair for some other purpose?
It has nothing to do with the digital cauldron that I am doing to reverse the operations that I've created to let me rule the internet.
Oh my God, look at all those ones and zeros. That digital cauldron.
Jason, I feel like he is doing something to really.
I think he is.
Why else would he bring up the digital cauldron?
I don't know why he would bring that. Do you think? Feel like we need a digital exorcist or something.
I don't know what What's going on?
I don't know. You know, I did take an online digital exorcism course.
You what?
Yeah, I did. It's sort of like the Universal
when
Life
your
Church.
friends asked you to digitally exercise.
They don't want to
their
get a
child?
Catholic in there. Yeah.
Buffalo chicken dip?
Oh my gosh!
Oh.
Thank you so much. Do you have some tortilla chips with
Yes,
this?
of course. They are all gluten-free for Scotty and egg-free for Senor Mantzoukas.
Thank you so much, Mailer Damon. This is
I prefer gluten-free
This
with
is
but egg
delicious.
full, actually.
Well, here we go then.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's not get these mixed up. Yeah, so Jason, I took an online digital exorcism course.
I feel bad.
Feel bad in what respect?
I feel bad the Mailer Damon is ignoring Nick.
Yeah, I know. It's really strange.
It's completely ignoring
Nick is just sulking.
Nick is so bummed.
It's fine. It's fine.
Nick, do you want to get in on this?
No,
come over
he
here.
doesn't.
Talk
He's
to
not
us.
interested
No,
in me.
I
It's
thought
fine.
he would be.
Look,
He just might not know who you are.
no, he looked at me. He said, "Hey, man, I know your stuff."
I know his stuff.
Oh, of course. How could you not?
How could you not know? He's nearly ubiquitous in the comedy scene.
Sure.
It doesn't mean that I have to enjoy his work.
Well, okay. All right. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I had something I wanted to say to you, Mailer Demon.
Yes? Monsieur Aukerman.
I kind of wanted to say the power of Steve Jobs compels you. Leave this body.
Sorry, guys, that was me. I had something in my throat.
Yeah, are you all right,
Oh,
Nick?
Nick, you okay?
Yeah, no,
You're foaming at the mouth.
I was drinking a smoothie and I got like a frozen banana.
That
stuck in my
smoothie
throat.
turned into a hearty.
No, but go on, Mr.
Yes? Go on. The power.
Another brilliant turn of phrase.
Yes, the power of Steve Jobs compels you to leave the body of Ask Jeeves, and I cast thee back into the dark, deep internet where thy belongs.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I see what you have tried to do.
Yes.
Oh,
What's
boy.
that?
You have tried to exorcise the demon that lives within me. Yes, unfortunately, as Mr. Jobs has passed and was never much of a power in the underlying functioning of the internet.
But he knew a lot about design and aesthetics. You have to admit that.
Exactly, sir. But as far as zeros and ones, I would say the Wozniak name is the one that shall not be spoken.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Just told us that.
Yeah, I wonder if I should maybe repeat what I said with the Wozniak.
Maybe I'll do that.
It might be a trick.
Might be a trick. It might be a trick. It might conjure Steve Wozniak.
Mint julep.
Which we do not.
Oh, a mint julep. God, I love a nice mint julep in the fall.
So refreshing.
Oh my gosh.
This is
I'm
refreshing.
gonna try it. If it conjures
Just
Steve
give it a
Wozniak,
shot.
then
Why
yeah, all
not?
right. Hey, Mailer Demon.
Yes.
I wanted to say something.
Yes. Scorch Aukerman.
Well, I kind of felt like the power of Steve Wozniak compels thee to leave the body of Ask Jeeves and be cast out into the deep dark internet where thou belongs.
Bong, bong.
Nick, what are you doing?
I'm just doing an impression of
Roger
dial-up.
Rabbit?
I'm doing an impression of dial-up.
I thought it was Roger Rabbit. I never realized how much Roger Rabbit sounds like a dial-up.
Yep. Boom, dong, boom, boom. Anyway, I was trying to get Jeeves's Mailer Damon's attention.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
you just called
Did
him
you get-
Jeeves.
He's just literally has his back to
Do you dare to call me Jeeves?
Nick, I wish you hadn't done that.
I shall smite you to the realm of Alta Vista.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, not Alta Vista!
No, goodbye.
No, Nick! Oh God, Nick! No!
Nick just disappeared into his actual phone computer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
Holy
crazy.
cow!
Blue corn tortilla chip with a black bean salsa.
I am starting to feel full, but I
can't.
Don't
stop
mind if
eating.
I do.
It's like when you go to a wedding. There's so many tasty treats.
Oh, Yum City.
That didn't work. And Steve Wozniak was not
I
conjured.
think we just gotta lean into this and figure
All
out
right.
what's going
Well,
on.
now
We
that
gotta-
Nick's gone.
We gotta go deeper.
Sorry, gentlemen, I couldn't help but overhear you whispering.
Huh? No.
Was there something that I was not providing for you?
No, you're doing great.
I
This
mean,
is a
I love
great...
the mint julep.
Could I
but
just
I
ask
could
you
use-
a question?
Yes.
Ooh, boy.
As all I seem to do is serve you.
Yeah.
Why is it that you are trying to exercise me?
Well, you got really mad at Nick and you cast him into Alta Vista.
Yes.
You don't want that to happen to us.
And you're also like...
Well, I like your comedy.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'll
Fair
take
enough.
that.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
yeah.
I love How Did This Get Made?
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
And Comedy Bang Bang, the show, is my favorite.
The TV show, not the podcast.
Not the podcast. Okay, I enjoy the podcast.
You're like the opposite of everyone.
Yes, I am. In fact, I am.
I would say it's of some concern to me that you have a digital cauldron and have snipped off some of my hair. And but what do you plan to do with that?
Yeah, do you have a bigger plan, I guess is the question. You know, maybe we're trying to prevent some sort of future catastrophe.
Yes, if you could just hold your chin straight. I'm just snipping out some of the grays from your beard.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wow, you look about 10 years younger. My goodness. 58.
Sorry, you were saying something? I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I can't help but feel like you're putting into action some sort of
diabolical plan
or something, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to
Digital
characterize your plan
cauldron.
as diabolical.
You have hairs from each of us now.
Right.
Yeah. I'm concerned that your intentions are not to make us look better, but are to exorcise or
Are you sure that
exercise some sort of
exercise, yeah. Maybe I took a digital exercise class.
You brought her, you exercise.
Tracy Anderson?
Yeah, I think it was. Hey, do you need any pubes, by the way? I'm looking to get these trimmed a little bit.
I wouldn't be opposed.
Come on down here if you mind. Yep.
Got to get rid of those pubers.
Yep.
Do you have gray pubes yet?
No, I don't. Do you?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't tell if I do or not,
Yeah,
actually,
I've got
because
a
I'm
couple of,
very blonde. I don't
couple
like
of
discussing
gray
my pubes
pubes.
on the air. I don't mind if
Really?
you cut them. I don't want to talk about them.
Whoa, yeah.
I don't want people imagining
It's
my
fine.
pubes.
We don't have to talk about it.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's like
You
imagine
don't want
every
people
other.
imagining your pubes?
Yeah. Just even admitting I have them seems strange.
What? You are embarrassed to admit that you've gone through puberty and have pubic hair?
There should be like a menopause for men where we like
There should not be.
Go backwards.
There should not be.
Men's rights. Men's rights.
Thank you. All right, Malin.
We deserve menopause as well.
You should talk to Bob Duca.
I don't know. You're going to start talking about police lives matter in a second.
Puba bagel?
Okay, that's where I draw the line on eating. I am full.
not going to eat
A
this.
pizza bagel with your own pubic hair?
I'm totally full. Totally full.
Dare you determine what I serve you?
No, we're not determining what you serve.
Toil, pubes, and bubble.
Uh-oh. I feel like I offered him that pubes and tied somehow into the incantation.
And let this be a warning to you both.
Oh, it's just a warning.
If you defy the treats I provide you, we shall go to a commercial break.
Oh, okay. I don't want to go to a commercial break. We've only been going about 10 minutes or so at this point. Maybe I better eat these pube bagels.
I guess we're going to eat these puber bagels.
Wait, which ones are these? These are gray. These must be Jason's.
Yeah. I think I've got yours. It's not bad.
It's not. I mean, it's not an ingredient I would normally like to use, like kale or sprouts or something like that.
It's a collision of flavors.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you'd like to put kale and sprouts on your pizza bagels?
Not on. I'm just saying in any recipe. I'm not a total weirdo.
Do you eat a lot of sprouts?
Yeah, I like sprouts.
Really?
Yeah. I know they taste like dirt or grass.
I can't remember the last time I ate a sprout.
Really?
Yep.
What about on a sandwich or something? They're nice on a sandwich.
Guys, I crawl back in.
Nick, are you okay?
Yeah, I was able to escape the digital realm.
That was incredible. I saw just like a hand, almost like you were Cousin It, coming out of your phone.
Yeah.
And then you just...
What did I miss? What do you guys say about?
We just ate each other's pubes.
We just ate each other's pubes on a bagel.
And then now you're talking about sprouts?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, fuck this.
You're going
Wait,
back
you're
in?
going back in?
He's going back into the digital
Wow.
cauldron.
Maybe he likes it in there. At some point, I want to interview the actor who does you, though.
Oh, yeah.
The actor the actor who plays Jason Mantzoukas.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be really interesting.
I
to
think,
do on one of
the
these.
guy's great.
Yeah.
The guy is talented.
But I mean, I love your characterization.
What's
You're
his name?
very
Jeffrey Characteroides? What's his name?
Jeffrey Characteroides.
Jeffrey
Characteroides. Should we talk to him right now?
I would love to talk
Let's
to
talk to
Jeffrey
him.
Characteroides.
Okay, Jeffrey, can you set aside the Jason Mantzoukas persona for a second? Shake it out. Good. Okay, here we go. Jeffrey. Hey, Jeffrey.
How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great.
Pretty good. What's happening?
How's it going?
Real good.
I don't believe I've ever spoken to you on this.
episode's going really good.
Yeah, you're really funny in
I'm
it.
really happy with it so
Yeah,
far.
I've never spoken to you on air. I don't believe.
Oh, it's so weird. We talk so much in person.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're
This
right.
is
We've
a lot
never
like that
spoken on air.
James Adomian episode where he was himself for a while. Yeah,
Ooh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Or
It's
like
a
when
little,
you talk to Paul F. Tompkins on the best ofs.
It's a little weird talking to you right now.
But it's not that weird. We talk all the time.
Can you tell us about your background? You've come up with such a deranged, sort of repulsive character.
Oh, I mean, that's just Jason, you know?
Yeah, but
Wow,
you're
so
not.
you think of him as like a real person.
Well, you know, you have to. You have to think of the person you're playing as a real person. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to play them.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When did you come up with the egg allergy?
Yeah, it's
That-
something no one has.
Was that the aha
It
moment?
was years. Guys, I for years was doing this character without an egg allergy and could not get
quite
it off
working.
the ground.
No.
It wasn't sticky. People couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
But the inherent vulnerability of the egg allergy mixed with the utter reprehensible nature of the character's point of view.
It balances it out. Yeah,
really,
exactly.
Really does something.
And you're not allergic to eggs. You're eating one right now.
No. Oh, I eat eggs all the time.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, it was in a groundlings class.
Oh, they're great.
It was in a groundlings class. You know, because one of the teachers was like, find something scary. for your
Yeah.
character.
How long were you a groundling? Are you in Sunday company? Or
I never got that far.
Oh, okay. You
Never
just
got. They asked
took
me to
class?
stop
took
taking the
level-
class.
yeah, they-
The minute I came up with the egg allergy, they were like, "You graduated."
Wow.
Get out
They
there.
don't even want you on the stage.
out
You're
there.
just-
And then you went to UCB.
And then I went to New York and I started doing UCB.
wow.
So
Only
you-
exclusively as Jason
But
Mantzoukas.
as Jason Mantzoukas, because I realized that Jeffrey,
Yeah.
character Wheaties,
Yeah. No one's interested in him.
nobody's interested.
It's like a Paul
Nobody's
Rubens, Pee Wee
interested.
Herman
Exactly.
situation. Everyone says that at the Groundlings he
should-
had so many great characters, but he just wanted to stick
I
with Pee Wee
left
Herman.
Los Angeles. I shed every piece of Jeffrey. And I arrived in New York as Jason Mantzoukas.
now,
did not look
Jeffrey
back.
character Wheaties is paler skin,
Yep.
straight hair.
Yep.
You have a lot of makeup on right now,
Yes, very
and
heavily.
a fake beard.
It's always a fake beard.
Yeah. Do you want to take off the beard? I'd love to get a look at your real face.
Well, are you going to want me to do Jason later in the show?
yeah, but I have some
probably.
spirit gum right here.
Okay.
So you
great.
won't do
Oh man, you were so handsome without that.
Oh, thank you.
Why do you have all this?
Tiptoe.
Hello, Mailer Demon.
Oh, Mailer Demon.
Wait, you ran out of here with your beard, your fake beard.
Oh, brother.
Wow, he
now,
loves hair.
If someone were on the internet were to make would you like it if someone were to make like a T-shirt or an image of Jason character Wheaties like on a Wheaties box?
Wait, Jeffrey character Wheaties?
Yes,
Jeffrey character Wheaties. And I think I've seen a picture of one of Jason's oldest headshots. I believe is a picture of you, character Wheaties.
That's my headshot.
Before, that was your headshot, but people have
But so you had already
found it.
darkened the skin slightly.
Yes.
Slightly, but it
Slightly.
still looks, it's in black and white, so
Yes,
it looks a
it's
little
yeah.
lightened, and you don't have the beard, and you look very, very handsome.
That was Jeffrey character Wheaties'
right.
first headshot.
And people dug it up, and they attributed it to you, because
It's so
obviously they
embar- and
recognize you.
luckily, I managed to put the name Jason Mantzoukas on it.
Right, yeah.
So that now, as long as it's on the internet, people like the Mailer Demon. They know that it's
Yeah.
Jason, not Jeffrey.
What did
so
you used to-
digitally, I don't exist.
What are you actually like? I mean, you're so different from Jason.
Such a good question.
I find him to be a fucking drip.
Yeah, he is kind of annoying, isn't he?
Right? He's kind of a drip.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you meet an actor who you love and then you talk to them and you're like, oh, that person
That
is
happened to
nothing.
me really recently with you.
With me, Nick Kroll. Yeah. No, that's fair. Ooh, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a second.
problem.
okay.
Yes, hello.
Oh, Fabrice!
Yes, hello.
What are you doing here?
A beloved character.
Are you?
I'm so excited.
Have you finished stocking up our craft service table out there?
Yes,
in
I
the
put
Earwolf?
out all the tiny little street cheeses.
Thank you so
and
much.
I put
I
out
love those.
everything. Jeffrey.
Hey.
Hello.
Wait, you know Jeffrey?
Hello, Jeffrey.
Hello, Fabrice.
Jeffrey, you know Fabrice.
I know.
do.
I know Jeffrey. Character Wheaties.
Oh,
I see this motherfucker on every set that Jason Mantzoukas is an actor on.
Relax.
This motherfucker. Let me tell you one thing, you
Okay.
motherfucker.
Okay, relax.
This motherfucker has complained. I've seen him sprinkling pubes on my character on my table.
Wait a minute.
And then saying,
Jeffrey, you sprinkle pubes on?
It's more an act of aggression than it is a food source.
Why,
that's right, it's an act of aggression. You trying to get me fired off every job I've been on.
why don't you guys like each other?
I don't care for Fabrice.
No, this motherfucker.
What don't you like about him? Do you think that he's some sort of stereotype or something of a bygone age?
That's right. He wants to put me back in 2005.
But don't you realize that people still are like this?
I still exist. And I am more powerful. And I am elegance.
I'm just
and I
saying,
am strength.
we all can't excel at long-term character work.
Oh, that's
you
right.
are one of the best at it.
That's right. That's right. Just because he created a three-dimensional character who's allergic to eggs, he gets to live forever.
Let me just ask you this. Does Fabrice have any vulnerabilities whatsoever?
Well, that's a good point.
No, it's true. The one thing I'm allergic to is assholes.
Do you mean people who are assholes or people's assholes?
People's assholes.
Oh,
and
that's
I'll
gotta
tell
be
you
terrible.
this, Jeffrey character Wheaties is one big old butthole.
That's an interesting question, though, Fabrice. I've never seen you have any sort of vulnerability.
That's true.
I mean, you have things that you like to do, which
when you
poetry.
have grown up with this voice, this attitude in the places I grew up, you big a big old wall like the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, you're very
That's
defensive.
Right, the Iron Curtain.
But I bet it's all because of
underneath. I'm a little pussy cat.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Do you ever get vulnerable with a loved one?
Yeah, all the time. I let my lovers walk all over me.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute.
I give people money, but I am strength. I am opulence. I am luxury.
I'm getting a weird vibe off of you two. Were you guys? Did you guys ever?
Talk about it.
Is that why you don't like each other?
And Jeffrey character Wheaties.
Yeah. Did you guys used to have a thing or?
We had a thing.
We maybe had a moment.
We had a thing.
Maybe we had some time.
We had the potential of a thing.
It's interesting because, Jeffrey, I know you are a gay man, and I've known that about you as long as I've known you, and which is so interesting that you play this character, which is just such a sex monster, just like a disgusting...
A Lothario.
Gross Lothario, yeah.
And almost hedonistic, almost like a bacchanal.
Yeah, and you made up all these weird stories about things done in movie theaters and flipping V's. And
flipping through vaginas is just...
Like someone who almost seems like if you looked at a Greek statue of Bacchanalia, like a goat head, like a human head with like a goat body, like a Bacchus.
Yeah, that's where I have seen. That's what you based your character on.
I did base a lot of Jason on a statue of Bacchus.
So Jason
that has a human head and a goat body.
As a gay man, is Jason satire?
That's right.
The character of Jason Mantzoukas is a very trenchant social satire.
Social satire of
current social mores.
That's right. That's right.
It's one of the biggest pieces. It's one of the most prolific pieces of social satire of the 21st century.
It's great. You're like Banksy or something.
And just to be clear, guess who came up with Jason Mantzoukas? One hint. It was not Jeffrey character Wheaties.
So you came up with Jason Mantzoukas, Fabrice?
That's right.
No.
Yes.
No.
What was
Excuse me. The original character he wanted to come up with was named Janice Mandukar.
Janice Mandukar, and what was Janice like?
Okay, she was a very interesting character, and
she was not
she
interesting.
was very good.
She was allergic to bees.
She had a very severe.
I mean, everyone doesn't like being stung by bees, so how vulnerable? I mean,
but she would swell up. Here's what was the thing: is she loved honey.
Oh,
she loved honey like Winnie the Pooh.
And I was like, boring. And I said, what about... I was like, no, how about this? How about one of these like Greek-ass motherfuckers, but grew up like waspy in like New England, and he allergic to eggs.
And what's he dressed like?
He always wears white shirts and blue jeans.
Why?
I don't know, because choices were too much and he could bleach his shirts because of weird OCD shit.
But it's like a Pee Wee Herman costume for him, right?
Exactly.
Number 6.
Cheers. All right, this is the 6th anniversary show. The 6th anniversary show.
Milestone.
Big milestone. We'd been doing the podcast for 6 years at this point. That's what that means. Listen to the stars on this. We have Paul F. Tompkins.
Ooh.
Lauren Lapkus.
Hi.
Neil Campbell. Mike Hanford. Joe Wengert. Paul Scheer. Aaron Whitehead. an amazing assemblage of comedic talent. You were playing Cake Boss, and Lauren was playing Ho-Ho, which is a new character that she started this year.
That's right.
Whom we will hear from a little later in the countdown.
Right.
She's Santa's naughty elf. We're going to meet a new friend, Neil Campbell, playing a gentleman named Maxwell Keeper.
That's right.
We have Mike Hanford playing John Lennon, who I'll explain him. He came on
explain him.
Mike Hanford does a passable John Lennon. And his backstory is that
a serviceable John Lennon. a gentleman's serviceable John Lennon.
Another fan favorite, and this is his second appearance. In his previous, he explained that he was dead for 5 years and decided not to be dead anymore. And then he's just been hanging out for the last 25 years or so. Or 30 years, just kind of hanging out and asking people not to let anyone know that he's alive.
Yeah, including his wife, Yoko Ono.
So we'll hear from him, and then we will also talk to Brad Hammerstone, Joe Wengert as Brad Hammerstone.
Yes.
Who, his first time he was on the show the previous year, he was doing a character who is a real man's man, who you then find out is a duck.
That's right.
And in this one, he's playing a particular duck and it takes me so long to catch on as to whom he is playing.
Yes.
So let's hear that. This is your number 6.
Number 6.
And I have a great person to introduce here on the show now, new to the program. Do you want to introduce yourself, or should I just say?
Yes, it is I, the Timekeeper.
Of course, the Timekeeper. Welcome to the show.
Yes, I observe and celebrate time.
Yes, of course
and I was
you do.
so excited to be here, as you to know that you are here celebrating the passage of time.
The sun has, we've revolved around the sun. I don't know.
Yes, the Earth has revolved around the sun 6 times.
Yes.
Good work, Copernicus.
How many times does the moon do it?
1 million.
that seems inaccurate.
It moves really fast.
Yeah. So
I've been around longer than all of you guys, since Native Americans.
Yeah. Have you observed? How old are you, Timekeeper?
I am 31 years old.
You have such an ancient, aged voice.
Oh, yes, and I wear this midnight blue cloak.
Yes.
With a Starfield lining.
Yeah, why are you? I mean, but you're just a guy.
You were like in your 50s, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought you were 85.
No, I'm 31 years old.
Okay, well, welcome to the show. You're just a dude.
I'm a man. I observe time. I celebrate time.
Okay,
I work in my brother-in-law's watch repair store.
Oh, is there a lot of call for that these days?
Yes. People get their watches repaired.
Not a lot of people watching wearers. No, wearing watches, though.
Oh, there are businessmen and status symbol seekers. They love having a timepiece upon their very wrist.
Like James Bond or something?
Yes. And then when it's in for repair.
The most famous watch wearer in history.
Every time there's a new James Bond movie, it seems that's when I see the most watch ads. And it's always like him wearing it. You know what I mean?
That's a fair point, Scott.
I never see watch ads until every 3 years when a Bond movie comes out.
But yeah, so when they have their watches in for repair, I call them to let them know what time it is regularly.
That's what makes you the timekeeper?
Well, no, that's just how I pay my bills, but I'm more the timekeeper in a general sense.
Wait, but so this is part of the service that you and your who are you with again?
My brother.
Your brother?
Brother-in-law, yes.
Brother-in-law. So you're
Desmond Longo.
Okay, are you married to Desmond's sister, or is
No, he's married to my very sister.
Oh. Did she change her name to Longo?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
What was her maiden name?
Keeper.
Wait a minute.
Your name's Time?
Her name is Eleanor Keeper.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Maxwell Keeper, the Timekeeper.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
I thought it was going to be Tim E. Keeper.
I wish. I asked my parents if they could change it, and they said that was something I had to take care of myself.
Why did you do it? Yeah, you just go to the courthouse.
I wish I had the time.
That's ironic.
That's very ironic.
Yes, I spend all my time observing. I leave none for myself.
Right. So you and your brother-in-law are at this, and that's part of your duties at the shop?
He repairs watches, and while people have their watches in for repair, I call them regularly, every 10 minutes or so, to let them know what time it is, since their
What time
son's
is it?
watch.
What time is it right now?
Right now, let me check the sun. Yes.
Wait, this is how you're doing it? Is this why you say 10 minutes or or so because it's
yes. I look every 10 minutes of sun time, and I call them, and I go, well, it's now 3:10.
You're in a watch repair shop. There's plenty of watch. Well,
that's the least reliable place to tell what time.
Hey, Scott Aukerman, shut up for a second.
Yes,
timekeeper, can we role play one of these phone calls? Like, let's say I'm a customer. I dropped off my watch at Longo.
This is exciting. Sure. This is like watching an improv show.
Yes. What? What are you talking about?
Improv show? No, neither of you.
Neither of us.
What's
you say neither. You're
He's a fancy guy.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a cloak.
Okay.
I want to be the receptionist.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's all get it on it. So,
okay.
I drop my watch off, and so you're calling me to tell every 10 minutes to tell me what time it is.
Yes.
All right. So the phone rings. Hello.
Hello, this is the time store. I have Maxwell Timekeeper.
No, it's the timekeeper.
Put him right through, please. Oh, what's that? I hear some chattering in the background.
I have the timekeeper on the phone for you.
Yes, please put him through.
Okay.
Yes, hello, timekeeper?
It is now 9:20 a.m.
Honey, who are you on the phone with?
Hold on a second, that's my wife.
Honey!
Yeah,
Who are you? Who's on the phone? Is it for me?
No, dear, I'm talking to the timekeeper. My watch is still in the shop.
Who's the timekeeper?
He's the guy who calls me every 10 minutes.
Did you take those boxes up from the basement like I asked you to?
Yes, dear.
I asked you 20 minutes ago. Have you done it?
Yes, I got 2 phone calls, so I know for sure.
So it's done?
Yeah, it's done.
Completely?
Excuse me, the timekeeper doesn't have time for this?
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Would you like to talk to him again?
Yeah, I guess in like 9 minutes.
Okay.
Very
You're very
well.
agreeable.
I'll sit and perform one of my favorite activities for 9 minutes, staring.
Wait a minute, so this is the only client at the Broken Watch Factory?
No.
I would think you'd be doing this every single minute
This
or
was
so.
a role play of the first customer of the day.
Probably says that to like make the customer feel like they're the only customer that matters, you know.
But in actuality, how many people are you calling?
Oh, upwards of 4 a day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, and... Scott.
Yes? What's
I'm
that?
getting emotional.
Oh, stop crying.
No, okay. Tears I'll wipe away or suck back in.
Oh, God, how did you do that?
Just practice.
Really? You can practice to do that?
With practice makes perfect.
Oh, that's a great point.
Cake Boss, you should make a cake that can suck back its own tears.
But so first I have to make a cake that cries.
No, TIERS.
Oh!
And that's been Riddle Me This.
Riddler.
Oh, this is a good song.
Riddler.
That was a good song. That's a good song.
Wow, another edition. Oh my gosh, now we have 2 That's a Good songs.
What? Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying about...
6 years is one of my favorite amounts of time.
Really?
Why 6 years?
Oh, just so much can happen in 6 years. A child could age from 0 to 6.
That's true.
A sports team could develop a dynasty.
Oh, like, I'm trying to think of one, like the Showtime Lakers? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So much could happen in 6 years. It simply is one of the greatest amounts of time there is.
How did you arrive at 6 years being one of the greatest units of time?
It's just how you have a favorite color, a favorite direction for the wind to blow. It's just one of those things everyone has.
Well, mine's east.
Yes, I'm southeasterly myself.
Mine's up.
Oh.
What's up? What's going on?
Scott Aukerman, you don't have a favorite direction the wind blows?
Or a favorite amount of time?
Okay, well, let me think. Remember in the 7-Year Itch when Marilyn Monroe's dress went up?
Yeah,
7 years, another great amount of time.
Yeah, sorry,
I
that's
said
been
my
taken.
favorite direction was up.
Yeah, so
okay.
you're copying Ho-Ho.
No, you were just talking, I thought you were talking about your favorite Pixar movie.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay.
You probably like that first 10 minutes, right? That's your favorite part?
you watched?
I like the first part where the lady dies and everyone's sad. The part where everyone's happy, the dog talk sucks.
But it is your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Timekeeper.
Yes.
Cake Boss. Do you have a least favorite unit of time?
Oh, definitely. 12 minutes.
What?
12 minutes?
Yes, I've never been fond of 12 minutes. A real NBA quarter, I call it.
Yeah, so you're a basketball fan, I'm getting.
Not likely.
Wait, yes or no?
No, an NBA quarter. I hate.
But you, this is the second basketball reference you've made. It seems like it's on your mind a lot. Yes, tis.
I shan't remember that.
Where did you go to school? Did you like graduate from high school even? Or?
Yes, Tallahassee High School.
Did your classmates like you, or were you annoying?
They hated me. I was voted most likely to be the timekeeper.
Is that because you walked around saying you were going to?
Yes, it was a write-in category,
and it got one.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was from you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you earn any other superlatives?
Least liked.
Was that a write-in category as well?
Yes.
And how many votes did that get?
What? My sister.
Your sister.
Oh, Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Keeper. Longo.
Eleanor Keeper Longo.
Nay, Longo. Wait, no.
Nay Keeper.
All right, don't attack the cake boss.
Nay Keeper.
Horses are nay keepers.
And that has been Riddle Me This.
Riddler.
Oh, this is a good song.
Riddler.
That was a good song. That's a good song. That's a really good song.
Wow, a third one. I love it. Oh, amazing. We're just going to keep adding on to this. Well, my goodness, Timekeeper, was there anything else you wanted to say?
I love you.
Speaking of time, it's... okay,
he's real interested.
Don't get too excited.
He's real interested.
It's been about...
It's been what?
Oh, enough. It's been about 5 months since we said hello to this gentleman.
A wonderful amount of time.
Yes. How many NBA quarters would that be, I wonder?
May I have one of your calculators?
Mm-hmm. Let me guess. It's about 122 NBA quarters in a day. So 5
Carry the
months.
1, do the 2 over the 3.
Goodbye, listeners.
Isn't that that's an Elton John song, isn't it?
Yeah. Goodbye, listeners. Goodbye, listeners of this podcast.
About 3,980 NBA quarters since we've seen this gentleman.
Worth the wait.
And he was. We'll describe your sort of biography.
Well, I could describe it, or I could just say my name, but I'd rather just describe it for you. You know, I played in a rock band. These will be the clues I'll give the listeners. I played in a European rock band with 2 guitarists, 1 bassist, and a drummer. And that drummer's name was my very best friend, Ringo.
Okay, I'm guessing you're John Lennon. Well, I know that because you're sitting...
Because you can see me, sure. Yes, I'm John Lennon. That's right. Has it been that long since I've been on, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, you were on in January, as I recall, and this is May or Ma.
Certainly is.
Yeah, what have you been up to? Now, we all remember your last appearance. You were talking about how you never died. You died for 5 years.
For 4 years I
4
died.
years.
You know, I got shot through the heart outside my house, 4
years.
Fell dead right away. Buried, and then decided I've got to be alive again. I like it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, that answers all my questions.
Yep. So
4 years, a wonderful amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
One could almost complete college in that time.
Mm-hmm. One could complete the presidency of the United States.
Or the presidential fitness test.
It took you that long to complete the presidential fitness test?
The V-sit in reach was hard.
Okay, well...
I don't mean to distract.
You don't?
No, but I do frequently.
Well, John, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm just sort of preparing right now to record an album again.
What?
That's right.
Wow.
A solo record? Or?
Well, let me explain it, of course. I'm going to take a CD that I own and record it onto a tape so I can play it in my RV,
Your RV?
No, I misspoke,
Oh, okay. I don't mean to hold your feet to the fire.
Sure.
That's not allowed.
So you're gonna convert it? You have a tape deck in the RV?
Yes, it's a very old RV.
So what? I guess I'm not aware of. I never came across this in the Sharper Image catalog. The CD to cassette player.
It's a pretty standard boombox that I've purchased.
Yeah, why?
Oh, so it's not even built into the RV. It's just the boombox that's in the RV.
I'm gonna do the whole thing in my home, And then bring it out to the RV, the tape, of course.
Aren't you a multi-millionaire? Why are you buying such an old RV?
Well, I certainly like the vintage charm of it all, you know.
That's what the V stood for. A vintage RV.
But yes, that's right. I didn't want to explain it. I didn't think we had time for that.
Well, we certainly did.
We have all the time in the world.
All right, timekeeper. All right. We don't really.
Oh, I'll get off the table.
What? Did you lose all of your money when you died?
I misplaced much of it, you know, because right before I died, I was taking it out of the...
Wait, a lot of people don't know this.
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
had
right.
bags of money when you were shot?
Yeah, I was taking it from my mattress to a bank. Yoko finally said, "You've got to put this away. We can't get any sleep on this mattress."
We've been doing too many photo shoots on this, naked on this mattress.
Well, it worked for a while because we were there so much. We were not leaving the bed.
Yeah.
Hubba hubba.
May I ask a question about one of your songs?
Yes.
8 days a week. Typo, slip of the tongue. What was going on there?
Does that just drive you crazy?
We were being very funny. You know, Ringo suggested it. And I said, well, I brought him aside and I said, "Are you joking around? Do you know that it's not 8 days? It doesn't exist 8 days a week." And he said, "No, John, it's a joke."
What about that song? What about that song? Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. That one pisses me off.
Well, that's a Paul song.
I'll leave that to Paul when he's in. You can talk
You
to him
weren't
about
on
it.
that track?
You know, I'm fuzzy on what songs I wrote.
Wait, were you on every single Paul McCartney solo record?
I was at least in the room to watch him record.
Like a
Hiding
2 on a
behind the
creepy
painting?
scale?
Who was better at keeping time, Ringo or me, the timekeeper?
Or Pete Best?
Or Pete Best?
Oh, that poor Pete Best.
Or Jason
tell us
Bobby.
about it.
We lost him early, didn't we?
He didn't die. He just quit.
You might be thinking of Stuart Sutcliffe.
Yeah, the bassist.
I think I had this problem last time I was in here.
You did.
I can't remember those bloody
It was
drummists
a long
that we
time
keep.
ago. It was back in the 50s.
Do the Beatles have different drummers?
You know what?
Oh, ho, ho.
Hello.
You must be...
I never paid attention.
I would think you're young, not old.
I'm a million.
Oh, then you certainly have heard the Beatles then.
Too much time I've been on this earth. I can't listen to every song and notice who every drummer is.
Hey, that's how I feel about Pearl Jam.
Seems like you would have more time to do that.
Timekeeper could explain it.
What's your favorite song?
Time is relative.
My favorite song is Elton John and singing that Captain and Tennille song.
Love will keep us together?
What?
If it's on Backspace, it
Don't
must
go
tell me.
breaking my heart.
I
Elton
wouldn't
John
if
and
I tried.
RuPaul.
Elton John and RuPaul. Did that happen?
Yeah,
Why is that your favorite song?
I love it.
Of all time.
It's really fucking good.
All right, did you just come?
Not quite.
Time.
Time out. Keep it inside.
Wait a minute, I thought
I'll
this
put
wasn't
it
that
back
type
inside.
of show. No, you can't tell me one thing and then talk about come 2 minutes later.
No, you're just merely asking a question of wanted to guess. Did you just come?
His
All right.
penis was out of his shorts.
You are wearing shorts, buddy.
Yes, yes.
He's wearing shorts under his cloak.
Board shorts.
Are they from Old Navy?
Yes.
$6.99.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we have to get to our next guest, and he's a returning guest. He's been on the show once before, and please welcome back Brad Hammerstone.
Oh, thanks for having me back, Scott. I had to get back on the show.
Yeah, you had to. People loved your last appearance.
Oh, that's not the reason why I'm here, but...
Oh, okay. What's the reason? Wait, so...
I don't know who
you don't
this
care?
show is for or
Okay.
who's listening to it or what's happening with that.
Right.
But, you know, my kids found out that I did the show, and, you know, it was before they were my kids, so...
Wait.
They loved the show. They were like, you got to get back on the show.
Wait, you
So
did the
that's why
show
I'm here.
before you had kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Well, he said before they were his kids.
Oh, okay. They were someone else's kids?
All right, well, this is a long story, but...
Okay, well, we got nothing but... Did that put you over the edge?
Oh, no, I'm...
Did you enjoy
I'm
that?
now re-energized.
Wow.
Do you,
gross.
do you
From a
like it
deli owner,
better
that's a
when you
rage.
say it or when other people say it?
Yeah. Please, anyone answer this question.
I like just hearing it, yes, others more. I prefer it when another person says it. And I already know I love time, but to hear others acknowledge it, it's reaffirming.
All right, well, tell us this story about the about your kids. What happened here?
All right, well, here's the thing. My cousin He got called into the Navy. So
Certainly.
He has a couple. In fact, he's got kids, but they're not actually his kids. I mean, as far as I know, he's just their legal guardian. But he takes care of 3, kind of small anthropomorphic ducks, and now I got to take care of them. And
right.
Now, you said your brother was called into the Navy?
My cousin.
Your cousin.
He was called into the Navy, or he joined up. I didn't get the full story.
Who's your cousin again? I remember seeing something like this. He's wearing a Navy outfit. And
Yeah, my cousin's name is Don.
Donald.
Right.
Yeah, Donald. His full name is Donald.
People who may not remember you from your last appearance, you're a man's man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
A real bro.
Yeah, I'm here. Well, I'm a classic. I'm like a Don Draper, like what men used to be.
Yeah.
You like tools and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
What about sports
cars? I don't understand them, but I'll try and use them.
How about a football phone?
Football phone? Yeah.
Did you get one free ever?
Cool. Answer the phone like a football.
Wait, how would you answer the phone like a football?
You know how, when football players get the ball in the game and they have to say, hello, who is it?
I don't remember this.
Oh, I thought it was like you would answer the phone and say, football speaking.
Foot speaking, foot phone.
What I love about the football phone is you can
your foot is shaped like a football.
That's true. Well, no, a football is shaped like a foot. We've established that.
Okay. Well.
Your foot shaped weird and nasty.
Oh, you're very cruel, ho-ho.
Uh-huh.
Kick boss.
You're not the boss of me.
Kick boss.
TikTok.
It's been a while.
John.
Drums.
Yes.
John, you didn't play the drums.
I know I didn't play the drums.
But that
My
can't be
favorite
that
Beatle was
can't be
playing
your
the
catchphrase.
Catchphrase is
It
drums.
simply must be.
Your favorite Beatle is Ringo?
Always has been and it always will be.
What about yourself?
No, I put Ringo way before me.
All right.
He kept the time.
All right. Well, Brad.
I don't know what my catchphrase is. It's probably "Come on, fellas," or like a quack quack.
Yeah, I think it's more of that.
Wait
yeah.
a minute.
Like I love Tim Allen, how he makes those animal sounds when he's excited about tools.
Hilarious.
And that's what I do.
Well, you make animal sounds when you're excited.
No, I make an animal sound when I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm making the same sound that Tim Allen is making.
Yeah. No, you're making animal sounds when you forget to make English sounds.
Okay.
Human sounds.
All right, I'll take your word
right.
for it.
All right, because I don't know if people remember your last appearance, but we found out something about you.
Oh, yeah. Well, the last time I was on here, you're giving me a hard time about how I'm a duck and I'm actually a duck who thinks he's a man or a man with a duck's brain. I don't know what it is. I'm here trying to help you out, and that's what I get. And,
yeah,
I guess nobody paid attention to that part of the podcast because things have continued to go down the toilet for guys since I've been here.
For guys?
Oh, yeah. For guys.
Okay.
Because you got, yoga pants.
Wait, what is
Lena Dunham.
Things are looking up for guys when women are wearing yoga pants.
Okay. They seem too flimsy for me.
Flimsy.
Because they can't keep their butts in?
Yeah. I think either have your butt out or have your butt in.
So
you're very black and white
your
about
cousin
it.
Donald, does his Navy uniform have his butt out or?
Oh, he's got it. Yeah, he doesn't like to wear pants. He's a guy.
Okay.
He's a butt out kind of guy.
So in the Navy, they're kind of relaxed about uniforms. Like you don't have to wear pants.
Waist down is fine, dude.
As far as
all they ask is you wear the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top part, you got to have it. But I think you're going to be a lot faster and also more alarming to your enemy if you don't have your bottom half covered.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, if you're on a boat, your enemies can only see your top half. They don't know that you're pantsless.
Oh, unless you're doing a handstand.
Oh, hey, John. That's a good point.
That's
really
very good point.
Solid point from John Lennon.
Well, my goodness. So what are you up to now, Brad?
Well, I'm going around. I'm on the circuit. I'm giving seminars, just trying to help.
What circuit? When you say the circuit, what are you talking about? Are you talking about different ponds?
Well, I will go to the pond that I'm most familiar with and comfortable in.
Right.
And I'm there for, I'd say, 6 months out of the year.
Right, like a real man.
Like a real man. And then it starts getting cold, and it gets cold around my pond. I'm like, you know what? I got to go help real men someplace. At a place where it's warmer. I gotta go south.
Hey, why don't all the birds that also do what you do. Why don't they just stay in the hot place?
Why don't we just stay in the hot place all the time?
Yeah, it's like, why the back and forth?
You know what? I don't have an answer for that.
Scott, if you went on vacation to Hawaii, wouldn't you miss your home eventually?
Well, I mean, not if you move to Hawaii.
Oh, well, that's a very good point. Now I feel like a fucking idiot.
Well, maybe it gets too hot. Maybe it gets too hot.
Too hot? I'll tell you what it is a lot of times. It's just like a bro code sort of thing, you know?
Okay.
Because I see a couple of my buddies and they're starting to leave, and I'm like, I guess it's time to go, and I guess we're all going to leave and fly in a V formation.
Yeah. Have you had any misadventures with your 3 nephews?
What? All the time, man. It's tough. But it's kind of... I like it because it's helped me find new dimensions of being a man that I had no idea about.
Is stuff like hanging out at water towers and...
It's like mostly going on adventures. You sound more... You imagine something as manly as that?
Well, I'm sorry.
Got into trouble with a snow beast recently, so...
Okay. Right.
What happened?
Well, I'm a little hazy on the details. I believe we're looking for a crown or some sort of treasure.
Right, yeah.
Or it might have been one of my treasure maps got stolen, but...
Wait, you have a lot of treasure maps?
How many treasure maps do you have?
Oh, I got tons of treasure maps, valuables. I have the first dime.
The first dime?
The first dime ever minted.
How much is that worth?
Oh, tons, man. Probably like over $400.
Okay.
I remember when they made that.
You were there?
Well, she's a million.
She's a million. Ho's a million years old.
Okay. And you're an elf?
You betcha.
Okay.
I'm a naughty elf. Bleh.
All right.
Look at my butt.
Okay, all right. See, I like this guy because this guy kind of does whatever he wants.
Yeah. I continue with your line of questioning, Tohoho.
Now, Santa Claus.
Yeah, what about him?
Why doesn't he ever bring me what I want for Christmas to my house?
Well, I think I might be able to answer that.
Does he not like bad boys, or what's the
I
problem?
like the bad boys. You're a naughty little boy, and I give you presents. You ever notice what you get under the tree from me? Knives and guns and cocaine and drugs.
Yeah, that's not what I want.
Well, that's what you're gonna get, bad boy.
Oh, I'm hoping for worms or bread, sweet bread.
It's not the olden days. We don't give oranges and shit.
Okay.
Have you ever spent Christmas, and Ho-Ho, perhaps you can verify this, have you ever spent Christmas on Bear Mountain?
Yeah, of course I have.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering that too. Yeah.
Hey, so these 3 ducks, they're your nephews?
What?
These 3 guys, they're your nephews.
Well, listen, they're my cousin. I don't know how my cousin's related to him. I think they're his nephews.
They're
nephews. Probably my grandnephews.
Okay, so
I'm significantly older than my cousin.
Right,
Grandboys?
Are they grandboys?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Would you say they're grandboys?
They're not my grandboys. They're my grandnephews.
A term introduced earlier in this program?
Yeah, grandboys is another word for grandson.
I don't know. We've all instantly accepted it into our personal lexicons.
All right, well,
I guess we're more asking you to shed some light on what a grandboy
Are
is.
they grandboys or not?
Hey, if I come flying in and this is the first time I'm meeting you and you say the word grandboys, I'm going to assume it means grandson.
It's like bro code.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
So you say you have you've accumulated some wealth.
Uh-huh.
Do you kind of hoard your wealth? Are you kind of stingy with it?
Hey, look, that's the number one rule to staying rich. Not spending your money everywhere.
Yeah,
Can I ask you this question?
I tried to get... Are you going to try and teach me a lesson? Because this has happened to me once before around the holidays.
No.
Couple of ghosts tried to tell me to be less stingy with my money, treat my employees better, and I just didn't take.
That was you? I thought that was Eben. Oh, wait.
What?
Okay, never mind. I'm just getting something.
It's like the first penny dropped.
I'm a small business owner. I have a mouse that works for me. He has a crippled mouse son, and that's all I know.
Your name Brad threw me off.
Yeah, sure.
But let me ask you, because maybe he has a nickname that other people he earned from his habits.
I'm totally on board now. I get everything.
Do you ever like put your money like in a pile?
I got so much of it, man, it can't fit in a pile.
You ever put it in a room and jump into it?
Yeah,
that's where I was going.
Are you Scottish?
Yeah, you couldn't tell by my slight Scottish burr.
I like your little round glasses
Hey.
on the tip of your nose beak.
Thank you.
I like your top hat.
Well, all right.
He's wearing
You
it
guys
like
are
a
all seeing me for what I am, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Finally, we can see your attributes.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Adam Sachs, and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.